Joe here, ESBR Boxing, delighted to be joined by the two-time world champion, Joe Cordina. Joe, I don't know what you believe in terms of fate and the way that things happen, but if you don't get stripped of your title and you have that hand surgery, you don't come back here and win in front of the home crowd and have David Ewan, sing you into the ring. Does it feel like you're sort of vindicated now after going through all that?
Well, I always knew it was going to come back to me, regardless of whether I had the shot straight away or not. I was going to win that title back, regardless. I'm just grateful that Eddie got it for me straight away, and we got back in there, and we won a world title in front of my hometown. And yeah, I was meant to fight him in Abu Dhabi. My hand injury, and maybe it was for a reason I didn't fight. One door closes, another one opens, and this is what has happened.
And this is probably the first time in your career where I've heard people say this week, Joe's got a chip on his shoulder. You've had a very good career that you've carved out for yourself. This is the first time where something has really gone against you, and we've seen a little bit of spice, a little bit of needle in you this week. Is that something we can see going forward? That bit of spite about you, taking back what's yours?
Yeah, you've got to be smart in what you're doing. I can't just go in there and start how can I say, being reckless. Yeah, I had a tear up today, but I knew I can have a tear. I know I can have a tear up. It's nothing new to me. I have straighteners in the gym every day, and but I know I can box. I know that's my bread and butter. I box going forward, I box going backwards. I can stand and have a tear up if need be. And tonight it was a tear up, and I enjoyed it.
The world has seen that you can box. The world's now seen tonight that you can get into a proper tear-up with a really hard-hitting guy. Is there a danger that this makes you slightly harder to match with champions? Because as far as we see it here tonight in the press conference, you're the biggest champion in the division. Does it make you a harder fight for those guys now?
No, because they won what I got, and I won what they got. So if I got what they won, come and get it. And I won what they got. So I won that, so let's go. Let's make it happen. Any of the champions, it doesn't matter to me. I want to be in the biggest fights. I want to make the most money, and I want to be in the bigger arenas and bigger stadiums it is. So, it's about moving on now, stepping that up to that next level. I boxed here, we filled that out today. And it was a special moment, and I'm a two-time world champion in 16 fights. Yeah, not much more to say.
I know everyone's asking you the what next question, so let's look at it from a slightly different perspective. The two options are realistically, you either unify or you go for a bigger payday and you secure yourself financially and family and stuff like that. If it comes down to that, where it's we can unify or we can, get a big payday and come back to the motor point, what's the preference?
What's a big payday?
Maybe a domestic clash with Zelfa or something like that brings in a bigger crowd?
That's not a big payday, mate. That's not a big payday. A big payday is the unification. Especially, like you've seen Eddie, what he said. This don't generate the money to a unification. So you're talking about big money. He's not going to pay me big money to come here for Zelfa Barrett.
Yeah, of course. Is there a danger, though, that you are the standout champion in the division? And that
No, I'm a two-time world champion in 16 fights. So, yeah, it says it all. But I won the other belts. So just let's make it happen.
And lastly, there is that ambition to go and collect the belts. Is there an ambition to ever maybe change your weight up a little bit? Can you go up a weight? Can you start to, Shakur Stevenson's moved on, but is that something you still look at?
I boxed at, I won the British title, Commonwealth and WBA, 2 titles, WBA titles at lightweight. I had 9 fights at lightweight, and then everything else was super feather. I know I can mix it in, so yeah, that's not a problem.
Joe, thank you very much for your time. Congratulations.